Hey, Facebook. I'm Stephanie Haines. I'm a reporter with TMJ4, and the jury in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial has gone off to lunch for the day. Somewhat early lunches, I guess, because they keep ordering hot food and they don't want the food to get cold. So they bring the jury up and they are on a break for a little bit. Okay. I'm in the car, parked outside the Kenosha County Courthouse, and it's a little bit cold in here, but I don't want to turn the heat on. I want to thicken my blood, so I may be shivering a little bit. But okay, Kyle Rittenhouse case. This is day 3. At least we are calling it day 3. We're going to consider Tuesday as the first day of testimony because we heard the opening statements and the state's first 3 witnesses, and we're just not going to count jury selection as the first day of the trial. So in case that's just for clarity and consistency. Day 3, the state finished up its testimony. Both attorneys finished their testimony or their questions for Detective Howard, who was investigating the shootings. That's when we saw a lot of the videos. And then the state called Richie McGinniss. This is an important witness because one of the charges that Kyle Rittenhouse faces is a recklessly endangering safety charge, and that is in relation to Richie McGinniss. And a little bit about him. He is the head of videography, I believe he said, for the Daily Caller, which is a digital news site, which was founded by Tucker Carlson. And he was out here with a couple of other coworkers the night of August 25th, 2020 in Kenosha. They were out filming, interviewing people, and he interviewed Kyle Rittenhouse on video before the shootings took place. And a lot of these videos that we've seen on the internet is stuff that you've already seen, is what I'm trying to say. This is the interview where Rittenhouse in the video says to McGinniss, we're here, part of our job is to protect this property, and part of my job is to help people in case somebody gets injured. You see him with gloves on, and he points down to his orange medic kit. And so the state is asking McGinniss questions. Why did you decide to follow Rittenhouse that night? And there was a couple of reasons. He testified that he noticed that people were carrying weapons, and so he just took note of that. And then at one point he said in his testimony that he saw Rittenhouse running with a fire extinguisher, and he testified that he just probably should follow and just see what was going on. And that led him to witness the interaction between Joseph Rosenbaum and Kyle Rittenhouse. Yesterday, when we were shown the videos, many of the social media videos that the state says depict the shootings and the moments leading up to it and the moments after it, the state says in these videos you can see that after Joseph Rosenbaum is shot, one video shows Richie McGinniss trying to help Rosenbaum, give aid, just help him with a tourniquet, help carry him, load him to the hospital. So that was one of the videos the jury saw yesterday. And so just before we broke for lunch, there was a little bit of back and forth between Assistant District Attorney Binger and Richie McGinniss on the stand, just kind of trying to nail down or clarify the motion that Joseph Rosenbaum was making in the moments leading up to the shooting and during the shooting. And part of the not issue, but just sort of the clarification of it is Richie McGinniss did an interview with Tucker Carlson on August 28th, 2020. And in that interview, he used one term to describe Rosenbaum's motions, and I think that one was falling. And then in this case, when he was testifying, he was saying Richie McGinniss was testifying, the momentum of Joseph Rosenbaum was forward, or like his hands were past his feet, or the momentum was going forward, as he said. And so the state was really trying to nail down the exact terminology of the motion Rosenbaum was in leading up to and at the time that he was shot. And so I took the verbatim, went back over the video just to make sure I had it exactly right. And this was literally seconds before we broke for lunch. Assistant District Attorney Binger says, at any rate, whether it's the momentum falling, however you want to put it, Mr. Rosenbaum was in that motion. McGinniss testifies, yes. ADA Binger says, before the defendant was shot. Before the defendant shot. Before the defendant shot. And McGinniss says yes. And then that was the moment they broke for lunch. Okay, so let me do that one more time. Binger says, at any rate, whether it's the momentum falling, however you want to put it, Mr. Rosenbaum was in that motion. McGinniss says yes. Binger says, before the defendant shot. McGinniss says yes. And so I don't know if that's the end of the state's direct examination of McGinniss. We'll have to see when we come back from lunch. But then we will have defense attorneys probably have a lot of questions for him. And then if you've been watching the trial, you may or may not have been able to see this, but the state, if it's their witness, they ask questions first. Defense team does cross-examination. State can redirect, and defense can recross, and it can kind of keep on going for however long the attorneys need or want to establish testimony. And so right now it's direct examination. I can imagine that there's plenty more questions. So some of we're gonna have to go over video that shows McGinniss and shows, the moments before and after the shooting, and then video that we've already gone over, some of the video that he shot himself. Or at least the jury has been shown that. Let's back up. I forgot one thing, because I was focused completely on this witness. Early in the morning, we heard the Assistant District Attorney Binger bring up, something about one of the jurors. And he said that he was informed that one of the jurors said to the judge understands it as said it to a deputy who was escorting this juror to his car yesterday. A joke, it was what they called a joke, about the Jacob Blake shooting. And so they brought the juror in, and the juror didn't want to repeat that joke. And so the judge dismissed that juror. There are now 19 jurors. Remember, they picked 20. And then at the end of testimony, before deliberations, they will excuse, only 12 will go into deliberations and the rest will leave. So that juror was dismissed for a joke about Jacob Blake, and the Assistant District Attorney Binger said he believes that shows racial bias. And the judge once again brought up, he said, he brought up, the pressure of this case, and just that there is a lot of eyeballs on it, and that's something, people need to have. There needs to be public confidence in this trial. And so that was a big headline. I did see a tweet from a CNN reporter who spoke to Justin Blake, who is the uncle of Jacob Blake. And let me pull that up. Sarah Seidner wrote, Blake's uncle told me the family is disturbed and disgusted by what jury number 7 said. The juror's mentality shows his bias and callousness, and he should be nowhere near the jury box in this case. And the judge did actually say it was in bad judgment or poor judgment, the nature of those words. So that is a big update in day 3. And I think that's it for now. It's a little, we have a little better conversation when we have Pat Cafferty with us. He's been really helpful, but we will keep an eye on the rest of the testimony this afternoon, and we'll update you at 5 o'clock as well. So I think I'm going to leave it at that, and we will keep you updated. Thanks, Facebook.